Hello again, Andrew Gasson here, Saviour of Tea, with a quick introduction to different types of tea. Many of you have heard of green tea or oolong tea and various herbal teas such as peppermint, and I know a lot of people phone us up in some confusion about what these terms mean, and I'd like to explain it to you in what hopefully will be quite a simple way. Firstly, all tea comes from the same plant, Camellia sinensis, Chinese camellia. There are different varieties of it, but don't worry about that too much. It's all the same basic plant. The difference in tea types comes from the way they are processed, i.e. what happens after they've been plucked, almost. Now, let me give you an example of what fermentation or oxidization is, because that is the process which is occurring in tea between leaving the field and arriving here. Fermentation or oxidization is what happens when a plant is exposed to the air, probably after it's been crushed, and it's the enzymes start to decompose the leaf, obviously in the presence of oxygen. Now, the more that happens, the more flavour is developed. So if you think of an apple being cut and exposed to the air, that apple goes brown. That is oxidization, and that's exactly what is happening in the leaf of the tea after it has been rolled. Black tea. This is our English afternoon blend, and I'll see if I can show it to you. So as you can see, this is a fully fermented tea. The leaf is black, and this has been oxidized for some while, for the full length of time. It therefore has what in the West we know as the traditional tea taste. Green is next. Here is a green tea. This one happens to come from Ceylon, or Sri Lanka as we call it now. As you can see, that is physically green in colour, and it's much lighter. In between black and green is what is oolong tea, and I've purposely left this till third because people aren't sure what it is, but it's halfway between, so we would call it semi-processed or semi-fermented or semi-oxidized. Sure enough, its colour, in fact in this case the colour is fairly light, but the method of processing places it in the middle of black and green tea. Its flavour is therefore strong like black tea, but delicate like green tea. And if you're not sure what that means, because it's not the best description ever, why not get one of our free samples and try it? The least processed of all is white tea. Now, I told you that processing is what happens between plucking and sending out in sacks, and I said it wasn't quite that simple. The reason is that white tea is plucked from very, very young leaves, from the first shoots as they come out, and in fact the very finest white teas, such as silver tips, are plucked from the leaves before they open, i.e. while they're still buds. Therefore, part of the character of white tea is when it is plucked, not just how it's processed. That processing is very, very minimal, and in fact usually consists only of a couple of hours out in the sun to dry. And here's a white tea. This is called Pai Mu Tan, and as you can see, it's almost a dried green leaf. Pai Mu Tan is Chinese for white peony. So that then very quickly is the four main types of tea, and to go through them again in order: black, the most processed, then oolong, then green, then white, the least processed. Of course, as probably some of you know, there's a number of other teas that we have here on the side. Here's one. This is our autumn blend tea. We've got a number of these. We've got spring, summer, autumn and winter, and we've also got, I believe, about 30 other flavoured teas. Some of these, as this one does, have some petals in. Some have, as this does, some dried orange peel. Some have cloves, other herbs. These are cornflower petals. Really, with flavoured teas, the sky is the limit. There's nowadays limitless flavours. Really, you want to choose natural flavourings, as we do, as the flavour we believe is generally better. In this case, as in many other cases, they've been blended with Chinese tea. So that's the flavoured teas. Last but not least, we have a number of herbs and botanical teas. This is quite a famous tea now, which is rooibos. Rooibos means red bush. You sometimes see it sold as red bush or rooibos or rooibos. It comes from South Africa. It can be drunk and prepared in exactly the same way as normal tea. You can put some milk in it if you wish. Those of you who have read The #1 Ladies Detective Agency by Xander McCall will know that the heroine, Mrs. Ramotswe, drinks bush tea, and this is it. Rooibos is actually delicious, it's very good for you. Go to the Rooibos page and you'll see quite a lot of information about how it's good for you. That's just one example of a herbal or botanical tea. Plenty of others: dandelion, sage, basil, peppermint, spearmint, yerba mate from Brazil. Lots and lots and lots. Best thing really is to go to that section and have a look at them. So hopefully I've given you an idea of what the different types of tea mean and what they are and the different sort of flavours and styles you can expect. Please, as I always say, give us a ring if I can be of any assistance, or any of the other guys can be of any assistance. Send us an email, phone, fill in a contact form as you wish. Thank you very much.